These whispered lessons shown on this channel. If I had known.
If I had known, starting is better than waiting. I remember a time when my mind was full of ideas. Not just passing thoughts that come and go, but real ideas, the kind that stay with you. The kind that make your heart beat faster when you imagine them becoming real. I would sit alone, sometimes quietly, letting my mind wander into the future. I could see it so clearly, a different version of my life, one shaped by courage, creativity, and action. In those moments, everything felt possible. I saw myself starting something meaningful. I saw progress, growth, and a sense of purpose. I imagined people appreciating what I created. I imagined myself becoming someone I could be proud of. Those visions were not just dreams. They felt close, almost within reach. But there was always a gap between imagining and doing. Every time I got close to taking action, something stopped me. It wasn't something visible. No one stood in my way. There were no real barriers around me. The obstacle was quiet, almost invisible, but powerful. It was a voice in my head that sounded reasonable, even wise. You're not ready yet. And I believed it. So I waited. I convinced myself that waiting was the smart thing to do. I told myself I needed more time, more knowledge, more clarity. I thought I needed to prepare better before I could begin. I believed that successful people must have started when they were fully ready, when they had everything figured out. I thought they were different, more prepared, more confident, more certain. And because I did not feel that way, I decided to wait until I did. Days passed. I still had the ideas. Weeks passed. I still hadn't started. Then months. And slowly, something began to change, not outside, but inside me. The excitement I once felt started to fade. The same ideas that once filled me with energy began to feel distant. They were still there, but they had lost their intensity. It was like watching a fire slowly die, not because it lacked fuel, but because I refused to keep it alive. I didn't notice it at first, but over time, hesitation turned into habit. Waiting became comfortable, and comfort became dangerous. Because the longer I waited, the harder it became to start. Then one day, something happened that I will never forget. I came across someone who was doing something very similar to what I had been thinking about for a long time. At first, I didn't react strongly. I simply noticed it, but then I looked closer, and something inside me shifted. At first, I was surprised. How did they even think of this? I asked myself. Then I became serious. I started analyzing what they were doing, how they were doing it, and how far they had already gone. Then, I became quiet, because deep inside I knew the truth. They were not better than me. They were not more talented than me. They were not more prepared than me. They just started. That realization was uncomfortable, because it removed every excuse I'd been holding on to. I watched them grow, slowly, step by step. I saw their progress, their improvements, their small wins. I saw people begin to notice them. I saw their confidence increase over time. And every time I saw their progress, it felt like a mirror, a reflection of what I could have been if I had taken action when I first had the idea. It wasn't jealousy. It was realization, a deep, undeniable awareness that I had been standing in my own way. That's when it truly hit me. I was not waiting to be ready. I was afraid of failing, afraid of being judged, afraid of starting and not being good enough. Afraid of trying and proving my own doubts right. So, instead of facing that fear, I hid behind something that looked productive. Preparation. I told myself I was learning, researching, planning. And to some extent but the truth was, I was using preparation as a shield. A way to avoid discomfort. A way to delay action. A way to feel safe. And the more I relied on that excuse, the more time I lost. Time that I could never get back. That realization was painful, because I began to see how much I had delayed my own growth. Not because I lacked ability, but because I lacked courage. Not because I didn't have ideas, but because I didn't act on them. I started to understand something that I wish I had known earlier. Readiness is not something you wait for. It is something you build. And the only way to build it is by starting. If I had known earlier what I know now, I would have started when I was unsure. I would have started when I was afraid. I would have started even when I felt completely unprepared. Because the truth is simple, nobody starts ready. The people we admire today did not begin with confidence. They did not begin with perfection. They did not begin with certainty. They began with doubt. But they started anyway. And through that process, they learned. They improved. They adapted. They grew. That is how readiness is created. Not before action, but because of it.
Welcome to the space.
Looking back, I realized that I was chasing the wrong thing. I was chasing confidence before action, when in reality, confidence comes after action. I was waiting for clarity when clarity often comes through experience. I thought starting was something you do when everything is in place. Now I know that starting is what puts everything into place. Today, I see things differently. I no longer wait for the perfect moment because I understand that it does not exist. I no longer expect myself to feel completely ready because I know that feeling may never come. Instead, I focus on taking the first step, no matter how small, because I have learned that small steps create momentum, and momentum creates progress, and progress changes everything. If I had known this earlier, I would have saved myself so much time, so much doubt, so much hesitation. But maybe that is part of the journey. Maybe the lesson had to be experienced, not just understood. Maybe the waiting taught me the value of action. And maybe the regret became the motivation to never delay again. So if you're listening to this, if you have an idea that keeps coming back to you, if there is something you've been thinking about starting, this is your reminder. Do not wait until you feel ready. Do not wait until everything is perfect. Do not wait for confidence to appear. Start now. Start small. Start uncertain. Start afraid. But start. Because every day you wait, you risk losing not just time, but the energy, the excitement, and the opportunity that comes with that idea. And one day, you might see someone else doing exactly what you once dreamed of doing. And in that moment, you will understand that the difference was never talent. It was action. Lesson. Perfection is not the starting point. Growth is. Advice. Start where you are with what you have. Do not wait for confidence. Action creates it. Thank you for choosing If I Had Known YouTube channel, where you find life-changing stories. Stay tuned and never miss the next episode.
If I had known.